If there's two things that are true about Malaysians, those two things are: number one, we love our food; number two, we love our cars. Did you know a whopping 93% of Malaysian households at least have one car in their driveway? And that was actually a statistic from 2014. Since then, a few more million cars have joined houses and roads. So think about it. We Malaysians really love our cars. So here at Carlist.my, we have access to iCar data. What is iCar data? Well, iCar data is a collection of information about buying trends, used car reports, things like that. So this data has allowed us to collect some information and give you some fun facts, like the most searched used car brands in Malaysia. So guess what? Just for fun, we thought we'd compile the top 10 list of used car brands that are being searched online in 2022. Alright, so we'll start number 10 because we don't want to give the number one away just like that, or else you can just watch something else. So at number 10 sits Nissan. Although Nissan has gone off the radar a little bit in the last few years, they actually make good cars, especially cars that are like 3, 4, 5 years back. So Nissan gained their popularity through making highly reliable cars, innovative cars, and stylistic cars, believe it or not. So in Malaysia anyway, Nissan has been around since 1957. So you can tell a lot of Nissan cars are being sold in Malaysia. And here's a fun fact for you. Nissan was actually the first Japanese car to be sold in Malaysia. Bet you didn't know that. Number 9, Volkswagen. So Volkswagen has been in Malaysia since the 50s, starting with the Beetle obviously. What else were people buying in the 50s? Nothing but the Beetle. But in 2008, when they officially arrived here, not under a dealer, they introduced the Mark V Golf GTI. And from there onwards, everyone just looked at Volkswagen as cars that are powerful, advanced, comfortable, luxurious, but without that really typical German price tag. Number 8, Porsche, whichever way you want to pronounce it. So actually, Porsche is the only high-performance manufacturer on this list, which tells you a lot about our affinity for this brand. Although it's no longer strange that people want to buy Porsche SUVs instead of their sports cars, because you know, that's the car that saved them from bankruptcy in the first place, the Porsche brand built itself on that ever epic Porsche 911. Not only did the 911 win people's hearts by having great driving dynamics, high performance, but it was also a reliable car, a reliable sports car. Now, that kind of transcended to all of its other cars, which is why it's now one of the most searched used brands in Malaysia, because you can drive a Porsche daily and be fine with it. Number 7, Mazda. So Mazda was this company that just kind of went zoom everywhere. Okay, they were just another Japanese car manufacturer. But ever since they've tried to become this premium Japanese manufacturer, joining such like a Lexus, they've kind of gone up a notch in people's books by building beautiful cars and upping the interior quality and design. A lot of people started falling for these Mazdas. Mazda built their reputation on cars like the MX-3 Roadster, the CX-5 SUV, the Mazda 3. Okay, but these days Mazdas have an array of cars that can fit to anyone's lifestyle, their budget, but at the same time, it won't cost them an arm and a leg to buy one. Number 6, Proton. Of course, Proton's going to be on this list. This is a top 10 list in Malaysia, and they are a local car manufacturer, and of course they're going to be on this list. But what can we tell you about Proton that you don't already know? Except that, you know, despite its flaws, people still like them. Proton's revival in recent years is accredited to the X50, the X70, those SUVs that were made in conjunction with Geely, okay? But despite those SUVs, Protons in the past were still adorable, reliable, and robust, and probably one of the reasons why people bought them in the first place. Yes, they do have their flaws. Once again, I'm telling you they have flaws, but it doesn't detract the fact that people still love Proton. Number 5, BMW. Okay, BMW has always been known as a brand to produce fun cars, and when you add a driver-focused interior, sporty styling, there's nothing not to like about a BMW. Now there's the misconception that BMWs are expensive cars to maintain. Well, actually their parts are reasonably priced and they are quite reliable. I think where people get BMW wrong is that they think that, oh my god, they cost this much, that much, this much. But actually their used car prices are quite reasonable, and probably one of the reasons why people always look for used BMWs. Number 4, Pro. I'm quite surprised that Pro is not higher up in this list, but saying that, now that I've thought about it again, people are always looking to go up a notch, and since people just buy Pro as new cars, they wouldn't be buying Pro as used cars. Also, one of the reasons that people don't buy Pro as used cars is actually because it has good resale value. And while this is a good thing, it's also a bad thing when you look at used Pro. Used Pro, the prices, they're just not that far off from new ones. So why buy used? Just get a new one, which is why they're probably number 4 on this list. Number 3, Mercedes-Benz. When people look to buy a luxurious German car, one of the first names that pops up in their head is of course Mercedes-Benz. Why is this? Well, because Mercedes have always delivered cars that are just prestigious, reliable, luxurious and refined. So this is one of the main reasons why people love Mercedes-Benz. Prices of new Mercedes-Benz are sometimes high, so a lot of people look to buy used ones. But whether it's new or used, a Mercedes-Benz is still a Mercedes-Benz. It gives you that badge, that prestige, that look, you know, that prestigious, luxurious look. Considering that Mercedes-Benz have a range of cars from little hatchbacks all the way to big SUVs to limousines, it's no wonder that people are always looking to buy Mercedes-Benz, because they also have a lot of choice on top of what they give you in terms of luxury and refinement. Number 2, Honda. So to me anyway, one of the reasons I think that people buy Honda is because they've always got their styling on point. Not only that, they've also got this amazing interior packaging that just creates a big space out of some small space. But actually, the reason why people buy Hondas is because the name is familiar. Let me just explain that a little bit, okay? I just asked a couple of my colleagues why they bought Hondas. Well, the reason they said was because this aunt had one, my father had one. So you know, we're familiar with the brand, we like the brand, and it's part of the family. Something that you just can't buy, and something Honda that's probably worked on for a long time. Alright, finally we reached number 1. Can you guess what it is? At number 1 sits Lamborghini. Really? Don't believe me? Of course you shouldn't believe me, because it's an obvious answer. The number 1 search used car brand in Malaysia is Toyota. So Toyota Motor Corp is the largest automaker in the world. No matter how many times people try to knock them off the perch, they just keep coming back. It's just like for fun, they're giving you the number 1 spot. They'll be like, I'll take it back for you in 2 months time. It's just the same everywhere you go, in every part of the country. Toyota, Toyota, Toyota. So there are 3 reasons why Toyota is one of the most sought after cars, one of the most looked up used cars. It's because they give buyers 3 things. 1, they give people this extreme reliability. 2, they give people comfort when they sit in the car. And 3, people don't have to worry about resale value. By the time you want to sell your Toyota, it'll be actually worth something, and it won't be like one of those cars that you have to throw away because nobody wants to buy them and you can't be bothered to sell them because it's just going to put 5 notes in your pocket. Yes, their cars might be boring, yes, their cars might not have soul, but you know, sometimes you just need a car that works, and that's a Toyota. So what do you guys think? Is this just? Do you have a different opinion? Let us know in the comments. If you like videos like these, make sure to like, comment and share. Till next time, I'm Adam. Goodbye.